It's been 1 month since the Skagen Falster 3 came out, and since then, there have been a lot of positive reviews for its sleek minimal design and improvements to Wear OS, including advanced battery controls, savable watch faces, and much more. But now, it's time to look beyond the initial impressions and discuss how well this watch actually performs under daily use. I've been wearing this watch for the past 4 weeks, and in this time, I found a lot that was not mentioned in original reviews. And in this video, I will share with you the biggest problems and best features I found during daily use. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike O'Brien, and in this video we're talking about the Skagen Falster 3 1 month later. And after wearing this watch for most of the last month, I found out quite a few things that I did not mention in the original video, and I wanted to update you guys in this one here. Now, in this video, I'll talk about some pros and cons that I noticed, and you may notice that this is a little bit heavier on the con side, mostly just because when you wear something for an entire month, you tend to notice things that don't work more than things that do work. So overall, I really do like this watch. I think it's an excellent smartwatch. And like I said, it's similar to the Fossil Gen 5, which was one of my favorite watches of 2019. But with that being said, let's get into this video. The first con that I noticed, and it's kind of a major drawback on the mechanical side for me at least, is when you look at the watch and the watch strap, the connection right there. So if you pull on the watch straps, as you might when you're putting it on, that's where I first noticed this, there is a clicking sound. So let's see if we can catch this on the microphone here. So I'm not entirely sure if this is because of the watch strap or the watch body itself, but it must be a fairly loose tolerance somewhere, and it does lead me to have some concerns about how long this will actually last, and I do have concerns with it breaking in the future, specifically at that hinge point right there. But the rest of the watch, when you look at it, is a very sturdy design. So on the pro side, the watch body itself, I really do like the simple minimalistic design there. It feels really nice. It's relatively light, but it feels, durable and sturdy. And another pro on the front, I originally said that I was not a big fan of the bezel all the way around there, but it does actually do a decent job of protecting the glass from getting scratched if you scrape against things. And it also matches pretty well when you look at it on the side. It's pretty symmetric top and bottom, being that the back of the watch is just very similar black to the bezel right there. So the aesthetics, as I've been saying in the original video and again now, are definitely very good. But another con, again, this one is actually definitely specific to the watch band, and the silicone blue watch band in particular is something that is a complete dirt magnet. So if you look very closely, this watch has a lot of grooves, and with that, the inevitable buildup of dust in there over the course of time. So like I said, you can clean this, and you pretty much have to clean this, and it's just a small drawback with this style of watch band. Of course, there are other styles out there you can get, but this one, I really do like the feel of this, and I like the color of it. You can work out and it doesn't feel bad at all. And that's something that I think is, unfortunately, it's a pro that I like this style of watch band, but it definitely accumulates a lot of dirt, which is that's not something I like. Now on the con side, the battery in this watch, much like many Wear OS watches, does not last long. If you have everything on with this watch and are not in power saving mode, then you're going to be lucky to really get through a full day. Now, if you change the watch settings so that it is in like power or extended mode, then I am able to get about 2 days out of this watch, which is decent, and it's something that a lot of Wear OS watches do not have, and it's something that I really like about the Fossil Gen 5 and the Skagen Falster 3 right here. Having that extended battery life is definitely a big lifesaver and kind of makes up for that gap right there. Something I said was a drawback originally and is actually not a drawback on here was the underwater mode is what I called it. And this actually does have a way to disable the touch to wake feature very easily. So if you swipe down from the top and you just go to your quick settings there and you tap on the one that's the bottom center, then that will disable it. So if you're going underwater or if you're showering or whatever, and actually right off the bat, let me just take care of a comment. I'm gonna get lots of comments saying, but Mike, why would you shower with a watch? And honestly, and I've said this before, the same reason you would ever wear a watch, so you can tell the time when you're showering, but also because I don't feel like taking it off. But regardless, it does have that, so that's actually really nice. You can wear this in the shower and not have to worry about having accidental touches. The next con, again a small one, and not to keep bashing this watch strap, but I found that the loop that they have on there comes off really easily, and I've actually lost it once or twice when I take my watch off and I set it down to charge, and if you bump it or anything, it's fairly easy to get that off, and I have, like I said, lost it a couple times. But regardless, as long as you keep that in mind and you just are a little more careful, it's not a big drawback. I just wish they made that a little bit smaller or made the buckle a little bit larger so that doesn't happen, but it does. So I can't necessarily recommend this particular watch strap to people. It looks good, but there are 2 other colors, so definitely check those out. Or if you get this one, you can swap out any watch band you want. It's a very common size, a 22 millimeter watch band. So honestly, I might be doing that as well. On the positive side, this watch does a really good job of customization, and I actually got a question recently about what the little Skagen app does. If you tap the little bottom right, by default it opens up like their app, which shows you like a bunch of different colors, and it says like black, blue, purple, and people, maybe it's not intuitive, and it wasn't to me when I first got the Fossil Gen 5, but essentially what you're doing here is you can customize the watch faces and save them as presets down here, and they kind of save by color as well. So if you say, oh, today I'm wearing something that is purple, let's find one of my purple watch faces and have it match. And I think that's really cool that they enabled you to make bins like that and also customize your watch faces. So if you look right here, so if we just tap and hold on this watch face and we go down to settings, just on the bottom right there, you can go in and change. So if you go down, then you can change the dial color. And so if we want to change this one to, any color you want, let's just say we want to change it to like blue right there. Then you can go down to the bottom and say save look, and when you save the look, it'll save in your loaded watch faces. And so this is just a quick way, like I said, to go over to blue, then tap on blue, and you'll see that this one is saved as one of the blue watch faces. So again, easier. It's supposed to just be easy if you wear, if you want 2 different colors to switch between, or you want some different looks for your watch that are very easy to access. This is the way you would do that. So I hope that answered some questions for some people. So something else I found as a drawback on this watch, for me at least, is when I'm wearing it on my left wrist, if I bend my wrist back, it's fairly easy to tap the center button right there, the crown. And if you bend your wrist back for any extended amount of time, say half a second, 1 second, it's pretty easy to summon Google Assistant there, and then you end up having these weird like Google Assistants on when you don't expect that. So that's kind of annoying in my opinion. So what I wish they allowed you to do would be have like an inverse mode. So if you could flip it upside down, like if you were a left-handed person, or if you wanted this to be upside down on your left wrist, then it would be, I think, a better way to manage that. So if the crown is on the other side, it's a little harder to twist it, but at least it gives some people the option to choose which side you want. So really what I'm saying is I wish the watch would be able to reorient this way and still show you the display not upside down. That's just a very, very small drawback there. But it's something, again, I want people to know this so they don't get it and then realize that it only is oriented in one direction and you can't switch wrists, or you can't switch it on one wrist. So something I thought was strange about this watch, as well as the Fossil Gen 5, was the utilization of the buttons. So because they have 3 buttons there, you think that each one would have a single tap, a double tap, and a tap and hold. Now, realistically, that's not how it works. They all have a single tap, of course. The crown in the center has tap and hold, but not double tap. The button on the top has double tap, but not tap and hold. And the bottom one doesn't have double tap or tap and hold. So I don't know why they didn't enable you to utilize all of those. I think that would be a really nice way, especially when you're working out, to not have to use the touch screen. If you're swimming or if you're sweaty or whatever, it can be annoying to use a touch screen. And so buttons, I think, would be a great use right there. Unfortunately, that's not what they have set up. So who knows, maybe they'll release an update and we can do that in the future. So next I want to test out the GPS accuracy for you and see how well this actually works. And I also want to show you Google Maps on here. It's something that I get probably the most comments about as far as apps go on the watch. People want to see how you can use Google Maps and navigate around with this watch. Navigate to Walmart.
There are a few, actually. Tap the one you want.
And now let's test it out and see how well the GPS works. I will be walking on a known path, so we'll see how well it tracks the distance. Alright, so it's kind of bright, So I'm not sure if you can see that, but I did just walk 1 known mile, so it looks like it's only off by like 1% right there, which is actually really, really impressive. Regardless, I don't know if this is the best for ultra competitive runners, but for most people this should definitely get the job done. Actually right there it changed, so it's off by 2% apparently, even though I'm not moving right now. So I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about the Skagen Falster 3 after 1 month of using it, and overall I really do like this watch. I recommend it to a lot of people, and I hope this video didn't come off as having little petty complaints, because really what I wanted to point out was the things that most people would notice after they started wearing it for a while, and I wanted to point them out now so that when you get the watch, you'll know these things and you won't be disappointed further on down the road. But like I said, I really do like this watch overall, and I do recommend it. So if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. As always, guys, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.